Hiya, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go do a podcast?
Sure.
Jump in.
Ladies and gentlemen, fillies and gentlecoats, dragons of all ages, and everyone else, welcome to Pondering Pony. I'm your host, John, and with me I have my co-host. Jay is evil, evil, and if I don't stop him, he's gonna ruin my podcast. Yeah. Anyway, this is a podcast about toy media franchises, 2000s nostalgia, and whatever else we want to talk about. And this week we are finishing up season 2 of Friendship is Magic by talking about episodes 25 and 26.
Yeah, so these are titled The Canterlot Wedding, Part 1 and Part 2, respectively. They were released on April 21st, 2012. That's my birthday.
Oh, congrats.
That's exciting. Directed
Yes.
by James Wooten with Jason Thiessen as supervising director. Written by Megan McCarthy with animation by DHX and Top Draw. Art direction by Rid Sorensen. Music by William Anderson. And songs by Daniel Ingram.
Mm-hmm. The story for this finale is the main six get an invitation to help plan and attend a wedding in Canterlot. And it turns out Twilight's brother, Shining Armor, is getting married. Twilight is angry that she's only finding this out through the invitation, and she does not know the bride, Princess Miyamore Cadenza. At least she doesn't think she knows. However, upon arriving in Canterlot, she's overjoyed to discover that the bride is her old babysitter, who she knew by the name Cadence. However, Cadence has changed since Twilight last knew her, becoming petty and demanding. Her friends and brother chalk it up to Princess Cadence being stressed, but Twilight can't shake the feeling something is wrong. At the rehearsal, she confronts Cadence, who runs off crying. Everyone else follows to confront her, leaving Twilight alone. Cadence appears behind Twilight and teleports her to the caves under the castle. There, Twilight finds Princess Cadence, who has been trapped there by a changeling who has taken her place. The two escape and crash the wedding, revealing that the fake Cadence to really be Queen Chrysalis. She hypnotizes Shining Armor into bringing down the force field protecting Canterlot, and her minions, the changelings, begin attacking. The real Cadence uses her love to break the spell on Shining Armor, and together they reform the barrier, pushing the changeling out of Canterlot through the power of love. They have the wedding, and that's the end.
Yeah, this is another season finale here. Another bigger, sort of more plot heavy, more exciting,
more epic. Yeah. I was really looking forward to this one.
Okay.
So yeah,
I like looking forward to talking about it, or looking forward to it when it was coming out.
no, this is way
Okay.
before I got into the
yeah.
show.
I wasn't
Yeah.
recalling exactly. Oh yeah, because 2012. That's how time
Uh,
works.
No, I was really looking for us to get to this episode
Okay.
because, like, this is a lot of people's favorite episodes, and yet it's a really fun one. It really showcases what this show is able to do when it's pushing its TVY rating to do epic stories, which is probably one of the biggest elements that the fandom has on this show. Is because they now know that they have like more adult audience. They're like, okay, so premieres and finales, we're allowed to go and push that TVY rating to do something more cool and epic than we normally do. So that's what we have here.
Yeah. We're getting a new villain here. I assume just because this is one of the characters who I know visually from just
Sure.
osmosis. I assume this is a pretty big character in the fandom.
Any any and all villains who look really cool are going to be big characters in the fandom, even if like they have no lines whatsoever and end up being like Boba Fett. They're gonna have like the same legacy of Boba Fett of just being really cool and fan favorites. Chrysalis, I think, is the number one fan favorite villain in the show. not just
Okay.
because she looks really darn cool, but because she has minions. Um, there's a new species. There's like interesting
Yeah.
things that you can do with that. So, lots of fan animations, lots of fan fiction about Chrysalis and the lore behind everything. Pretty exciting time for that. Um, the show is the show, and there's only so much they can do with the show.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where this character goes. I kind of assume, based on how things have gone thus far, that it's going to be she's going to be less prominent than maybe I would hope.
For the foreseeable future, yes.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, I was thinking they were going in a different direction um with this based on just the first episode. I was thinking that the reveal was going to be that Princess Cadence had always been sort of this evil person, just kind of using her power of love in order to deceive people. But no, instead we get sort of this more traditional. The princess has been kidnapped and is there's an imposter to deal with.
I feel like the one that you just suggested was the more traditional one, where it turns out that they're evil in
Okay.
the end. And I would have found that really boring if that was the case.
I was thinking specifically though that like using the love powers in order to like to the extent of she hasn't even been acting good. She's just been using her powers of love to make everyone so devoted to her that they see her as good, even though she never.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's two specific things that I was thinking of. One of them is a comic arc that I really like, the Kieran Gillen run on Young Avengers, which hints at this or like has it as a it doesn't actually happen, but it is like a potential thing that is hanging over the characters. And then the Elden Ring DLC actually does this more specifically of like having a character who is specifically using sort of their power to force love upon others in order to sort of wield devotion that they
Hmm.
haven't actually earned. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I was because of those two things. I'm like, oh, I was excited for that. But then, I mean, we do get this villain who I have been waiting to see when she would pop up.
Sure. Yeah. Like I think it's interesting to have the duology of the love. You have the normal Cadence who um essentially it seems to like amplify the power of love or love in
Yeah,
others, and the other one, Chrysalis, who steals and feeds off the power of love for their own sake. So
yeah. The changelings seem to have some sort of they feed on love.
very poetic and convenient for this story, that
Yeah,
these two would meet in this. But yeah, no, just for the theming of everything, it works pretty well. Um,
yeah,
very much inspired by some Disney classics like Little Mermaid with like the fake Ariel, and
yeah.
then of course with the giant reveal that's taken straight out of like Sleeping Beauty when Maleficent shows up in the room.
Yes. Yeah, with the
So
green
yeah,
fire.
like, so cool, so much fun.
I need to rewatch Sleeping Beauty. That one is the parts of it that are good are very good. Parts of it that are like the drunk minstrel and the king having a 10-minute conversation. Those are maybe not quite as good.
I find all of that much more interesting than just the mice from Cinderella.
That's yeah. That was when you were doing your rewatch through those and I was reading all of your reviews. I was like, yeah, I had forgotten how much the early Disney princess movies are not actually about the princesses. Because Snow White,
Mm,
which I have seen recently, relatively recently, is about the dwarves, and then Snow White is also there. She's a little bit more present than like Cinderella, which is about the mice, and then Sleeping Beauty is about the fairies and also the king and the drunk minstrel for like 10 minutes,
yeah,
and then
no,
the prince for the end.
yeah, the storytelling of Cinderella, like all you remember is the main story of Cinderella, and that's just so great and memorable that you forget all the mice. And then when you actually experience it, it's like, oh, my memory of the story is so much better than the story actually is presented. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but
But no,
yeah.
yeah. Here we're getting these allusions to this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like these episodes. I like the more adventure-y, fantasy-y plots. I almost wish that this was more of what the show was
Yeah,
in general.
yeah. Honestly, I think a lot of bronies felt this way, but I think there's a few things I could say about this.
Uh huh.
One, I think having it this way as it stands, just having the epic ones being the premiere and the finale, and sometimes the mid season makes them stand out even more.
Uh huh.
Um, Two, again, this is a show made to sell toys, so they don't want to like abandon our little girl audience. So that's why
Uh
we have
huh.
most of the middle season, which is typically more slice of life. I had a third option. Oh, yes, third option. It's TVY. So if the entire show was this level of storytelling, then they'd have to push it to Y7, which is again not the target demographic that they were wanting to do. So
Uh huh.
because of those limitations, we have what we have. I'm okay with living with it, but in my teenage years, I'm like, oh man, the cool stuff is really cool. The other stuff is like solid too, but like, the cool stuff. Um, their own thing, which is why like premieres and finales were like big events. People would host watch parties because like they knew like okay, those were the more exciting times.
Yeah, I am not surprised to find that these are some of the more popular episodes with the fans. This does kind of feel like, you know, early season the show hasn't gotten to the point where it's like starting to fall off right anymore. I don't know how much that's true of ponies, but that tends to be true of shows that like the longer they go on, the writers start running out of ideas and stuff. Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
or like
No.
they're bringing back too much, or like they aren't coming up with enough new things. I don't. Again, I haven't. I can't speak to that having not
Yeah,
seen more than
I have
this.
my own observations from watching many shows. Usually, the fall offs happen within season three, or season
Yeah,
three is when they get really good. So it's either a fall off or really good.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's very yeah. No.
Even just like the early seasons set the expectation for what the show is.
Mm-hmm.
So then the later seasons, even if they are still good, they're often like changing things or moving things. So like the earlier seasons tend to be the things that you have the most consensus on. I mean, this isn't a show, but like with Star Wars, basically the only thing that pretty much every Star Wars fan can agree on is that the original trilogy is good. And then besides that, you have so many diverging opinions as it goes off and becomes different
Yeah.
things. I mean, there's even people who don't like the, episodes 5 and 6, or especially episode 6. Um, so
Uh-huh.
yeah, the longer something goes on, the more fractured the fan base becomes. So then you can have something, season 2 finale. This is still everyone's still a little bit in consensus. Whereas maybe once you get
Mm.
later, you
Yeah.
have a little bit
No.
more.
The first divergence is coming up pretty soon.
Okay.
Um, Relatively soon. We'll talk about that. Um,
Yeah, I
but
think the
yeah,
first
right.
Divergent comes out 2014, so that's
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
soon.
yeah. I mean, it happens sooner than that for us. But yeah, let's focus on this really solid episode that a lot of us really like.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, Twilight. She's our main
yeah,
protagonist for this one.
she's right to be suspicious, but in a way that she is right because that is how the episode goes, not because her being suspicious is like, yeah, it's the type of thing of like you could have this exact same episode, but the end reveal is like, no, that was the real Princess Cadenza. Twilight was just being paranoid.
Honestly, like watching this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like Smallville writing, where I found plenty of moments in Smallville so interesting because our main character is Clark, and Clark cannot be wrong. So
Uh-huh.
whenever there's like the bad guy of the week is hanging out with his friends, he's always like, "Oh, I don't trust them," even though they did absolutely nothing at all to like be suspicious. It's just Clark shows up and it's like, "Oh, well, you should stay away from them," and that every week brings chaos and like divergence into the friendship. It's like, Clark, you gotta leave me live my life. I want to choose the friends I choose, and it's like Clark is always right, but he shouldn't be because it always turns out that they are the bad guy of the week. But man, Clark has no evidence. There's nothing suspicious. That always
Yeah.
frustrated me. It's like, why does Clark have to be right? Why can't Lana just have a person who's interested in her and not be a freak? It's This is
Yeah, I
less
I was
egregious because there is a little more nuance
Oh
here
yeah,
where
yeah. We are actually seeing Princess Cadenza be mean, but in a way of like when the other characters are like, well, yeah, but she's stressed. You're like, okay, I can see that because they aren't seeing the everything.
yeah, they also don't have a context of what Cadence was like
Yeah, and
beforehand.
and also they know that Twilight is being a grumpy pants or was being a grumpy pants about this all.
And part of that is because of her newly introduced brother. First time it's
Yes.
introduced in the show, two
Yeah.
seasons in, um, which happens all the times, just in shows. So
Yep.
we're used to it, but it's whenever it does happen, you always roll your eyes. It's like, oh, okay, here's the family member that we're all like really good relationship in. All my
Yep.
friends know about them. It's the first time we're mentioning it. Some
Yep.
shows do it like 4 or 5 seasons in. um, at least here we're at two.
To,
Um,
to be fair, I have had those types of experiences before, um,
mm,
where it's like the one that I could think of for some reason is one of my friends, Sab, who was on one of our Bionicle or a couple of our Bionicle episodes. We
yeah,
went to the same
Salvo.
university, and junior year, because we were friendly, we knew each other. Um, Junior year, my roommate and I happened to attend the same event that he was at, and Sam was like, "Wait, that's your roommate? I knew him in college or in high school." And I was like, "Yeah, he's been my roommate for the last 3 years." It was just this was just the first time that it was coming up. So that is like, oh yeah, the brother who is important, who this is just kind of the first time that's coming up. I can understand that, but especially
It's
as the show goes on for longer and there's more of those things.
mm, yeah. This is I don't know if we get any more of those type of things. This one is a little less egregious. It's just from an audience perspective, it could be like a
Yeah,
little annoying when this happens, but they, I think they do it well enough. Like
yeah,
they tell the backstory. We do see
yeah.
that he was there to send her off in the first episode. Again, I kind
Okay,
of
yeah,
wished we had like little foreshadowing earlier on, but who
yeah. That
knows
would
what
have
they.
that would have been nice. Just even a mention or two in the previous episodes, maybe,
Yeah, maybe they wanted it to be like a twist. They'd be like, "Oh,
or
hey,
that. Yeah,
by the way, she has a brother. Surprise!" Uh,
yeah. I'm curious to see if they do anything else with him because he seems like kind of a dead end character. Now that we've had this thing with him, that like he because he's not interesting. He doesn't have any like internal tension. All he does is he's like, he's the captain of the guard and he maintains the magical barrier. He spends most of these episodes under a spell, so
it's hard to say. Yeah, he's always going to be a side character,
uh-huh,
second fiddle
uh-huh.
to Twilight and Cadence. Um, but he is the captain of the Royal Guard, so he's
Yep.
there to help provide safety as a uh, part of leadership in a way.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
I
Princess
yeah.
Cadence plays a bigger role here. Yeah, she is
Mhm.
every bit as sweet as Twilight remembers her being. I'm just a little bit disappointed that there wasn't a little bit more complexity here, but I mean, the show is doing what it's doing.
Um, yeah, yeah. Cadence is such a mystery
Okay.
in this series because she's okay. So she's our third alicorn in this show. I don't
Uh
know if
huh.
you caught that. She's an
Yes, I
alicorn.
did. Yes.
So that's a big what is this? Who is this thing? And it's a huge mystery about what is
Okay.
her backstory, where does she come from, and it's not really until last year we had like an official comic that sort of got into that, but
Okay.
comic stuff is
Yeah. For
supplemental,
nerds.
not really canon, but whatever. That's a whole debate that we're not going to get into. In the show, she's just an alicorn, live with it, and that really comes from the toyetic decisions of Hasbro. Because at this point, Lauren Faust has now left the show and
Yeah.
product, and because of that, there's not as much pushback against these toyetic decisions. So
Okay.
originally, when we the character was created, she was just a Pegasus, and she was not a princess at all. Um, but Hasbro really wanted a pink princess alicorn because the original Celestia toy was pink, and fans were like,
Okay.
"Hey, can we have a white one?" And so their decision was like, "Okay, you can have a white one, but we really still really want the pink one, so we're gonna
That
create Cadence."
yeah, that makes sense to me from a like what is as you're saying, the target audience of this is still young girls.
Yes.
What are they going to pick up from the shelf?
Hmm.
Um, and honestly, like that kind of stuff, I don't mind as a decision. Like that's sort of just be like, hey, we want a character with this design.
Sure.
That's
Um,
when it's like every once in a while, it isn't doesn't bother me. It's when that starts to become the guiding philosophy of everything that
yeah.
it become an issue.
Yeah, usually like a lot of those decisions become more jarring the later on
Yeah,
because the writers just have a hard time trying to fit it in because it comes out of left field for them. It's like, oh, well, I guess we have to justify this thing, and
yeah,
it looks so gaudy in this show, so I guess we're gonna have to deal with that. Um, but again, this is a show made to sell toys, so
yeah.
you can't really fight back now that your head creator is gone. So that's a thing to keep
Yeah.
an eye out for the future. And
Okay.
we're definitely not going to be done mentioning these things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I like Cadence.
Okay.
I think she just has a nice, chill, calming personality that's very likable. Some could see that as boring, but I don't know. I like nice people.
Yeah, I think because there was like the moment where I thought, oh, she's evil. I was like, oh, this is exciting. So I'm a little bit less interested in her as a character the way she is. But I mean, I'm curious to see what they do with her in the future, if anything. I could see them finding something for her to do that I would find more
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what you think if it's interesting or not.
Uh huh.
Um, yeah, I like the chant that she and Twilight have, the Ladybugs Awake one. It's
Yeah.
cute, and it's also just cute because it's just a them thing, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Sort of a secret handshake type.
Hmm. Yeah, but
I've
the
always
character.
wondered, like, I mean, obviously, this is not an actual. I guess it could, with like AI and deepfakes, it could eventually become a concern. But like, if someone, how would people know that it's me and not a duplicate of me? And I have absolutely no idea if it's a good enough duplicate. Like, I don't have any
uh,
secret handshakes or anything.
yeah, just listen to the vocal quality, the image quality, study
Yeah.
it. much as you can.
I feel like
Um,
I have enough weird movie opinions that if you happen to know one of them, like, oh, do you like these two movies? And I could be like, well, I like that one and not that one. People will be like, oh, that's weird enough that it must be the real you.
or you could change your opinion.
Or I could change my opinion. That's, yep.
Yeah, yeah, but no, the scene stealer of this episode, of course, is Queen Chrysalis,
Yeah.
our main antagonist.
Yeah. She's a fun new villain. I
Mm,
am a little bit disappointed because, I mean, just the way you've been talking about her and the way the show is, that we probably aren't going to see a whole lot of her
for now,
for now.
for now, not for not. It's gonna be admitted before we see any mention of the changelings again, but one day.
On a certain level, though, I am like changeling type plots. I can find a little bit like there's not a ton of unexplored space to go with that necessarily.
Yeah.
Um, so in that sense, I'm like just the character design and the personality type and this new sort of bug pony subspecies. I'm like, oh, that would be cool to see like where they live and what they do.
Mm,
And but yeah, obviously, I don't think that's going to be anything going forward. I will also say I'm a little bit disappointed in how her minions look. I was hoping for something a little bit more exciting.
really. You don't find them exciting? I find them really exciting.
Okay. I was hoping for more like individuality.
Oh, individuality.
Like
Um,
like another subspecies of pony, but this time it's like bug pony.
oh, okay, so you're saying you wish they weren't all clone copies of each other?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, that's too much to ask for this story. Um,
Yeah.
that'd be a whole
Yeah.
lot. We already have like what 3, 4 new characters to do redesigns for the bugs. Maybe we'll get. Maybe we
Just
will.
take the models of all of the different ponies in Ponyville into Microsoft Paint, and then grab the black paint bucket tool, and then just go wild. And then there you have it.
I'm sure you would enjoy some fan works because they do
Yeah,
like to
yeah,
have original designs. Maybe when they come back, we'll get more unique ones once they have like more time and money and team to like design new background elements. So for now, just having this new thing to work as a base, it
yeah.
works enough for me. Um,
I will also say though, much like time travel, introducing changeling characters into your thing kind of breaks the world
it go ahead.
because it's what happens with time travel. It's what happens with multiverse, where like suddenly you can't trust that any character is who they say they are.
Hmm.
Now, I assume that's not going to be a tension throughout the show, just because that's kind of beyond what the show is doing. But
Yeah, we haven't established that the changelings can recreate the memories of the ponies, just
yeah,
their
yeah,
appearance. So um that's why maybe Chrysalis was reserved in some scenes not to make sure to say
uh-huh,
anything specific that would like trigger Twilight other than just her attitude.
uh-huh.
um I really liked Chrysalis's subtle plan to like get Twilight to murder the real Cadence. um just laughing at her, getting her angry. She breaks apart the rocks that she was displaying herself in, just enough to be like, okay, maybe Twilight will deal with this loose thread here. Um, but hey, Twilight was a little
Yeah.
slow on the trigger there, um, to to
Uh,
make that plan come into fruition. Yeah, no, she's got the Swiss
yeah.
cheese legs,
Yeah.
little
No, that
holes.
I find that interesting because that's not a bug thing. I don't look at bugs much. That's not a bug thing. It's just like a cool fantasy My Little Pony thing, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Changelings themselves, I don't think are bugs in
They're
mythology.
bug-ish.
Okay,
They have like because they make like bug noises
do they?
and like because the queen has like they or I think all of them have like bug wings just with
In
holes in them.
in the show, I just mean in mythology.
Oh,
I
okay,
thought
okay, I
the
see what you're saying.
changelings were different. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not talking about the show. I know the shower. Princess Celestia. This is the episode that broke the myth of Celestia.
Because she's
Unfortunately,
completely ineffective.
yes. I mean, just think about all of her appearances and everything that came before. She
Uh-huh.
seems like this all powerful, all knowing being who only shows up to tell Twilight's what to do. The one moment where we see her in action, she solves the day in lesson zero. And so fans in her history, she goes back, she defeats all of these villains from 1,000 years ago that are now coming back, and they talk about Celestia. So fans were excited when she starts stepping up. It's like, oh, we're gonna see Celestia in battle, only for her to be one-shotted.
To be fair, they did a Harry Potter magic beam battle, which is
Yes.
apparently the only way to do magic fights post Harry Potter. It's like such a boring. It's just like here's a beam, here's another beam, and then they like point at each other while making intense faces, like ah, ah.
Yes, the beam struggle was pretty short-lived. Um, it was such a disappointment, and it's unfortunate because none of that changes in any future episode. In any, she actually kind of seems even more useless and pathetic.
Okay.
Which, yeah, this was a turning point for how we viewed Celestia. Of like, oh yeah, she's like the ancient one who's got everything, and now we're like, oh wait, does she just um send Twilight because she can't do it herself? Oh,
I
well,
mean,
that's
I feel
not
like
as
that's
interesting, but
I feel like
okay.
that could be more interesting if they were intentionally going into it.
But they're not, which
But
is
yeah, yeah.
unfortunate because that was my cope. um, when I was in this, it's like, oh, well, maybe she's getting old and losing her power. Nothing, no mention,
Yeah,
no
I'm
mention of
I'm
that
not
at all.
surprised because that
It's,
is very far from what the show
yeah,
tends to
it's
go for.
just it's just that the power of this love was so strong that it defeated the sun. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
And
Spike
anyway,
not understanding what a bachelor party is. That was the joke of. Oh, wait, what is a bachelor party? And I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah. When it's after the wedding, and Spike is like, oh, I have the best bachelor party planned. I was like, okay, that one got me.
yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know if Spike's even going to have a bachelor party to have because Shining's no longer a bachelor. So
Yep,
yeah,
he
poor
missed
Spike.
his chance.
Yeah, nobody explained it to him. Not sure why.
Also, why
Oh,
was he put in charge of the bachelor? Like,
okay.
do Shining Armor and
I I so
Princess what's her
I
face
was
not have any friends?
I was just about to ask that, but then I remembered Spike was raised in the Twilight Sparkle family
Oh,
house, which
I
Shining
guess
would have been there too,
he's
which
also
is why.
a baby.
Yes,
Canonically, he is baby.
yes,
How
which
many
is
babies do you put in charge of planning bachelor parties?
correct. I was alluding to this back on the Spike's birthday episode where it's like, oh, Twilight was the only one who gave me a present, and I was thinking, what about Shining? Did Shining not care at all for Spike? Like he's such a nice guy. Did he just ignore Spike? Oh, that seems so sad. Of course, I couldn't mention Shining because
Uh-huh.
he hasn't been revealed yet, but now I can. Yay! um, yes, we get for a brief moment at the very end. Vinyl Scratch, DJ Pony 3, the one dubstep pony, she performs at the reception. She's the white
Yep.
one with like the spiky
Yeah.
hair
Oh
and
yeah.
the
No, I
sunglasses.
know. I know. I
Yeah.
know of whom you speak.
Yes. Uh, in her appearance here, she does briefly like lower her sunglasses, and you see her eyes. This sparked the stupidest debate about what color her eyes were. Were they red or were they purple? Um,
Okay. Now I have to. I did not know that I needed to have an opinion on this. Now that I know I need to have an opinion on this, I
you do
need to.
not need to have an opinion on
No,
this.
I must have an opinion on this.
Okay. Keep in mind it's nighttime, so the shades of whatever it is hard to tell. I think
Okay,
the
what is it?
consensus is reddish pink.
No, I don't. I don't
Uh,
want to know. I don't want to know the consensus. I want to come to
I'm gonna look it
my
up.
own opinion. That's going to be easier than finding it in
Okay, it seems like the debacle came because there was like a different colored version.
Okay.
So the color coding of one of the versions was like skewed brightly, so that changed the way the color looked.
I can see why there was a debate around this.
Uh,
They both just kind of look the same to me, just with different. One is a little bit warmer, one is a little bit cooler.
yeah.
I just
Apparently, the color is magenta. So,
okay.
um, yeah. Um, yeah. So one final thing to mention. There is like this one shot in Twilight's flashback with Cadence where we see these two ponies arguing, and then Cadence does something that makes them to stop arguing. There's uh we don't really know what that magic spell was. Was it like the love potion that we saw in the Hearts and Hooves Day, or was it just my theory? I guess is just
Uh huh.
it amplifies the other feelings to like calm down the anger. I'm
That
gonna
would
go with
make
that.
more sense. My initial interpretation was, oh, she is like that's her manipulation powers that she can
Yeah,
use love
it's
to like make people forget things and
it is this episode. It is its only appearance in the show,
uh-huh.
which makes it more like, what is this? What did she do? um, but yeah, so the pony on the right uh, is actually the OC of the storyboard artist Sabrina Abergetti, who
Okay.
we nicknamed Sibsy, and her OC is called Wildfire. She snuck that in here, and
That's neat.
I think she might have gotten in trouble for doing that. Um, but hey, a fun little
Uh-huh.
reference. Um, yeah. For visuals, there were some dresses and fashion in here, so I thought we might do
Yeah.
a quick
I
little.
didn't pull those because I thought they were just ones that we had seen before, but it looks like they are different.
They are different.
So some fashion
Let's look
pony
at like
review.
the bridesmaids one. Uh,
Yeah.
so we got. Let's start with Rainbow Dash.
Yeah, that's
So
a
it's
boot for me. It's hard to make something rainbow look not good, but it's a lot of
sure.
colors.
It's a lot of colors. It's very simple. It's kind of like a waterfall into some clouds.
Uh-huh.
It does maintain this like Roman Greek aesthetic, especially with like the whatever thing she has in her hair to tie it up, and I
Here's
guess
what it is for me. It looks very preschool,
okay,
which is that's the issue with rainbows is that it's very hard to make something in rainbow that doesn't look preschool.
yes. All of them have the exact same little crown on their head, which
Yeah, it's a little
it's
ugly.
it's yeah, it's interesting for the different designs. Uh, the next image I have a much clearer shot of Applejack, which I
Yeah,
like this one.
yeah.
It's
I would give this a two.
yeah, it's got that homemade rustic feel to it, like a quilt
Yeah, and
or
like
like
the
curtains.
yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about like the little purple accents in the front.
Yeah, the like little beads, all of these little beads, they're round pearly things everywhere are not doing
Hmm.
it for me.
But the green and red definitely work really well with
Yeah, and the
Applejack.
gold, like yeah,
Yes, the gold. We do have to sacrifice her hat, which Applejack does like try to incorporate back into her design later on. Um, Going back up, we have Rarity, which is much more simpler than you'd think she'd
yeah.
have.
It's I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to boot this one just because it
Mm.
is. Again, this is also a little preschool for me. I think the tutu, like the translucent tutu with
Can you describe
the
preschool to me, real quick?
just like I could see this a preschooler wearing this to class in preschool.
Okay, sure,
Where
for
it's like
like a
I
recital or
I'm
something.
just for me I'm like it's giving like when my younger sisters when they were really young would wear like a tutu and then have like jeans underneath it.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Just something
sure,
about I think it's the colors mainly here. And just
yeah,
like the frilliness of the or like the
hmm
yeah, the it's
yeah.
just not quite there for me. I do like the little brooch on the front.
The brooch is nice. I do like the color of the tutu, but like when you mix it with the blue,
Yeah, the
then
blue
it's like
polka dotty, yeah,
it's not. Then it becomes less of a rarity design.
yeah,
Would that? Hmm. Would that work better on Fluttershy? Because Fluttershy has like the opposite in that she has more of that pink color with the blue accent. So they're
yeah.
similar. Hmm. Yeah.
I don't like Fluttershy's either, to be honest. I don't know. Something about it just I'm gonna boot that one as well.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm being a little too harsh right now.
Maybe. I did I just now realize Applejack's hair, the way it's braided is not braided, but the way it's stylized is different from a normal braid
Yeah,
and ponytail. That's nice. Speaking of hair, we have Pinkie Pie who has it in a thing. I don't know what to describe
yeah.
that.
I'll give this a toot just because I was booting the other ones. The dress itself, it's very Beauty and the Beast.
Mm,
It doesn't fit her like style
no,
wise, but
no.
I like it. I do not like the ice cream cone. That is just that. Why is it green? Not even
Yeah.
like a pistachio green. It's like a what flavor is that ice cream supposed to be? Like
Is it minty?
radioactive waste?
If it's okay, if it's like deliberately made green for a minty reference, then that would make me happy because that's a G3 thing. But I don't think that's the case.
No, yeah.
Um,
It's not a mint green. It's a
no,
radioactive waste green.
not sure why it's not a balloon, because Rarity and Fluttershy both have their cutie mark design there. So it being ice cream is just. I mean, it fits Pinky for
Yeah,
being childlike.
she should be wearing all of the preschool outfits because they fit her
Sure,
better than than they do some of these other characters.
sure.
Um, yeah,
But moving on, we have Evil Cadence's wedding dress, which
yeah,
is
I like this. This is a toot for me. The gold and white is just it's a classic combination, and like
mhm,
the shoes are just
yes,
very classy.
yeah. I also really like the she also has her cutie mark like on the gem at the front, which
Yeah,
is a crystal heart. Um, yeah, that works really well. It's a really good color scheme.
yeah,
Um, then we have Shining and Twilight, who are kind of matching with like the red and magenta look. Um, Shining is just like a military uniform.
yeah. Napoleonic Wars
I
type
yeah
uniform, I
yeah
guess.
I
Very
like the
royal, like
magenta.
it's the red is yeah.
Yeah, I like the magenta on Twilight. I don't know about the green though.
Yeah, it's not the best color combination for her because then you also have the like purple.
Yeah,
It's a bit too much.
I wonder if they're trying to like match the silly crown with part of the dress to make
Maybe.
it
Yeah.
more aesthetically matching. Sure. And then lastly, we have the nice cadences dress, which is very even it's less
It's
visually
simpler.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's simpler.
I like this. I'm gonna toot this one as well.
It's a good
I
one.
think I'll toot Shining Armor and Boot Twilight just for the green.
Mm,
But no, I'll toot both of the wedding dresses. I think
yeah,
this one is simpler. This one is a little bit more traditional.
yeah.
But it's
Instead of like the cutie mark brooch, we get a golden rose.
oh, that's true. That's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder why they did that.
Yeah.
It would make sense that her herself would have the cutie mark because that's her cutie mark.
Uh-huh.
But I don't dislike the golden rose, but it's like, come on, the
Yeah,
cutie
it's
mark.
it's the wrong color as well. Like it doesn't
Mm,
quite match the gold of her dress and her shoes.
yeah, yeah. That's all we have for that. Onto some animation errors. Starting off with from the flashback of Twilight and Cadence, a younger Cadence. What do you suppose might be wrong here?
Cadence doesn't have wings.
She doesn't have wings, which is ironic because I think the lore of her character is that she was a Pegasus and then became an alicorn.
Whoops.
So, oops. Um, I mean, is that canon? Is it not? Who knows? That's I don't know where that information comes from. I think there was maybe like a small tie-in book, maybe, or something. Next up, we have when Chrysalis reveals herself. You can briefly see the storyboard in the bottom of the screen here.
Oh,
You
that's
got
neat.
Yeah, you got the numbers, you got the drawings. The storyboard for I think these two episodes were released. You can
Okay.
watch them, or at least the first part, at least I think, unless it's both. I hope it's both. It's both. Nice. So you can see what they were doing there. Pretty cool. Um. Okay. Lastly, we have a shot of evil Cadence doing something. Um, I don't know if you're able to register this, but yeah, here her cutie mark is the wrong color.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot
there.
going on here, so I wasn't sure what was in error and what was just
Yeah,
stylization.
I had to think a minute. Yeah, her cutie mark is usually a green crystal heart. Here it's just a red heart.
Yep.
So I wonder. I do wonder though. Was that the original cutie mark that they had for her, and then they changed it?
Oh, maybe
That's a theory.
a
Yep,
game
that's
theory. Thanks
a
for watching.
game theory.
I have not watched that in so long.
Yeah, yeah. On to performances. Here we have Tara Strong, Ashley Ball, Andrea Libman, Tabitha St. Germain, Kathy Westlock, Nicole Oliver, Shannon Chun Kent, Rebecca Shoishat, Kazumi Evans, Andrew Francis, Jollar himself, Takua, speaking of Captain the Guard, um, Rit McKillop, who we have seen in the Barbie series before as Cadence.
Okay.
I do really like her. She sings really well. And then Kathleen Barr, our
Oh
queen,
yes.
has returned. She's voicing Queen Chrysalis. Her voice is modulated, so you can't, it's
Yeah.
for here. But yeah, returning. She was last year as Trixie, but I'm glad she's back as Chrysalis. Um,
Yeah.
we always enjoy some Kathleen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we have a
The,
lot of songs in this one.
yeah, kind of our first musical episode. I don't know if it's officially labeled as one, as opposed to other stuff. But yeah, no, we have multiple songs in this one. They're lots of fun, but there's really one song that really stands out here.
Okay. Yeah, for me the one that stood out was the villain song. I don't know if that's the
Ooh.
one that's supposed to stand out.
Yes, yes, that is called This Day aria. It is it is up there as one of the favorite songs of the shows. It is very good. I love the duet of it, of like the evil cadence and then the real cadence. Um,
Yeah.
there's a lot of trickery in this song, even in just its music theory stuff,
Okay.
which I cannot explain to you because I don't know about music, but I know that one detail about this and sort of the music in this episode in general. It's like, oh, that's pretty dope. I'm sure
Okay.
I'll mention it later. But yes, on to allusions via the Pony Wiki. The episode advertisements and promotions for the episode are all a nod to the British royal wedding of 2011.
Okay.
Specifically, the characters' attires match that of the special guests.
Do you
Yes,
remember that wedding? Did you
I
watch
do.
it?
I did watch it.
I
Yes.
did as well.
Yes, the Hub heavily promoted this episode, calling it a royal wedding. They send out invitations to
That's fun.
people. Yeah, it was a lot of
I
fun.
have a. I don't know if it's in the background now. The the theater near me that did the Twilight screenings for the last one, they did a double feature of the Breaking Dawn movies, and so they printed out little invitations to Bella and Edward's wedding.
Mhm. Yes, they would do something similar again for the season 3 finale, although that
Okay.
one's a bit more controversial. And we'll
Okay.
get to that. We'll get to that because there are reasons. Um,
We'll
yes,
get to that because that is an episode that is coming up very soon.
yes, of course.
And that is
Those are
the
the
premise
reasons.
of the show.
Yes. Um, okay, so an arrangement of the second movement of Mozart's Ein klein Nachmusic, uh, totally read that correctly,
Yep.
um, is heard during the opening picnic scene in between clips of Spike running.
No.
Okay. During this day aria, Queen Chrysalis, disguised as Princess Cadence, looks in the mirror and trashes things around the room, which is a reference to the reprise of Poor Unfortunate Souls in The Little Mermaid. It doesn't look like the illusions mentions Sleeping Beauty, which is it
Uh-huh.
should be a really obvious one to do, but whatever. Um, the bridal chorus, composed by Richard Wagner, is used during the wedding sequence. Of course, of course.
Yep.
Um, During the fight sequence, the ponies burst through a group of changelings as a dramatic music cue plays. This parallels a sequence from The Matrix Reloaded where the protagonist Neo escapes a mob of Agent Smith's clone in the same fashion. We didn't
Yeah.
talk about that. There was like a full on battle in
Yeah.
this episode,
It feels a little odd given what the show is to have like an
which
action set
is
piece.
the Brony influence, of course.
Yeah.
Um, I, I I did like that it wasn't the main six and the elements of harmony were the ones to save the day. It
I like that as
was
well. Yeah, I forgot to write that in the notes. It is a really good um decision that it's like, yeah, we are getting a different conclusion here than we got the last couple times.
yeah, more focus on like just the central characters than just our typical here's our power sets and here's what we can do with it.
Yeah.
Um Onto IMDb fashion what IMDb trivia. I don't know. I didn't know IMDb had fashion. um okay.
Uh,
Uh, Princess Miyamori Cadenza is Cadence's full legal name, and is a mixture of Italian and Spanish for "My love, Cadence."
mi
Um,
amore.
yes,
Gotta give it the.
yeah. The song BBBFF, as well as I mentioned this aria, initially ends on an authentic cadence as its last chord. But when
Uh,
the reprise of the song finishes near the end of the episode, the song ends on a deceptive cadence,
uh,
foreshadowing the forthcoming plot of part two. Damn, isn't music theory fun? Like,
I'm
you,
nodding my head as if I understand what any
yeah,
of those terms mean. Unfortunately, music is a little bit beyond me.
sure. But hey, I don't know music either, but I like that detail that
Yeah, no,
the
that is
cadence
cool.
is
I would
used as
not have
well.
caught onto that, and I can't even. I would have to listen to the songs to know what they're even talking about there.
Yeah, just watch a breakdown of the music of this episode. I'm sure someone will explain it to you um, much better than
Yeah,
this thing can.
learn some music theory.
Yeah. When Cadence is levitating the bag of cupcakes, her horn aura is not light blue like in Twilight's flashback. Instead, it's yellow green, and the glow effect is straight instead of wavy like most unicorns. This is a clue that Cadence is Queen Chrysalis in disguise. Yes. Dirtbeady does not appear in part one. Uh, Changeling Queen Chrysalis is the first villain that doesn't appear in any of the season premieres, as well as being the darkest, cruelest, most evil villain as of yet. Okay, more than Discord and Nightmare Moon combined. She's also the first villain to sing in the show, singing the song This Day Aria and its reprise. I guess. True, unless you count the Flim Flam as villains, but they're more antagonists. Yeah, I suppose. Um, Friendship report: the main six learn to trust their instincts. Yeah, sure.
Twilight does. Whether that was
Hmm.
a lesson to learn or not is, yeah.
Yes. Chrysalis is often compared to Rudaka from Bionicle as the sinister
Okay.
queen of an insectoid race. Both Rudaka and Chrysalis were voiced by Kathleen Barr, so look at
Yeah.
that. Bionicle connections. Also,
Oh, I
Joller's
miss.
here.
Yeah, I miss Rudaka.
Hmm. Um,
More movies should
Ap-
have Rudaka.
just she'll
It's
appear out
like
of
you're
nowhere.
watching. You're watching. I don't know. What are you watching? Conclave.
Aven- Avengers
No,
Doomsday.
no, no, no. I don't want. I don't. I want her in like conclave. They're
Mm,
at the papal conclave, and then
yeah.
Rudaka shows up. You're
Bring me
watching
their
the drama
bodies.
with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. It's like, oh, it's time for
Mm,
the wedding. Oh, who's the new DJ? Oh, it's Rudaka.
yeah. Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo are listed in the credits, even though none of them have any lines. I I think that's just because the credits were just the whole show cast instead of
Uh-huh.
individual episodes. I think that changes some point next season or season four.
Good.
Uh, and lastly, Derpy appears in the background in part two in multiple crowd shots. In this image, she is hiding in the left in between two ponies, just peeking through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Can't have her too present because of the scandal. Uh, but yeah, no, that's it. That's the season two finale.
Yeah. Yeah, we are done with season two. That's what, two ninths of the way through? A little bit more since
Yeah,
season three isn't quite as long.
yeah. That we've watched 52 episodes roughly.
Ah,
Yes, that's correct. 52 episodes. Season 3 is only 13 episodes because the original syndication is 65 episodes, so the last one gets cut in half.
uh-huh.
Um, Fans had the silly theory that it was cut in half because the other half was given to Equestria Girls, but that's not how that works. It's just syndication, and that was
What,
just how
fans
many episodes they
misinterpreting
ordered.
how TV works? Like,
Wow! That,
that's
mm,
impossible. Fans understand these
impossible.
things so well.
Yeah.
Trust the
At
fans.
least,
Hire the
at,
fans. The fans
at
know.
least,
They
uh,
understand these things better than the creators do. Oh boy.
yeah. Now we're more educated about this stuff. um, but with that, thank you everyone for listening, and make sure to follow us on social media. We're Binging Barbie Podcast on Instagram and Tumblr, Binging Barbie on Blue Sky and Serialized, and Binging Barbie Movie Podcast on Letterboxd. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a 5-star review and go join our Patreon at patreon.com/Binging Barbie Podcast. Um, we will be doing a season 2 review, um, just like we did for season 1. You can get early access to that on the Patreon with the eventual YouTube release whenever that happens, months from now. But we will be back next week not starting with season 3, but we'll be taking our first look into the world of Generation 3,
Ooh.
which should be fun and silly.
Oh
um,
boy.
oh boy, indeed. I'll enjoy myself. I'm sure. You, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yes,
Yep. Tune in
yes.
to
But
see.
tune in to see. And until then, I gotta get ready for the bachelor party. Alright.
Bye, John.
uh,
Or bye,
bye,
ponies. Why am I saying goodbye to you?
bye, Jay. Bye.